afternoon. I'm Laurel Fairworth.
And I'm Ellen Barkan. Welcome to the Cutting Edge with our new configuration.
Do you like this?
I do, yes.
So
I feel weird.
And our guest, okay? So we have today with us Mindy Thomas. She is the president of Thomas Career Consulting, and she is a powerhouse. So Mindy, thank you for being with us.
Thanks so much for having me today.
Thank you for being here.
And you have had an illustrious career and background. So why don't you fill the audience in on that first, and then we'll get to your success today.
Okay, sure. My background encompasses 25 years in higher education, and those roles look like serving as an adjunct faculty member for Immaculata University, becoming the director of career planning and placement at a 2-year technical college, working as a director of admissions at a for-profit institution, working as a career counselor at Delaware County Community College, and serving as a legal recruiter. So I have done the gamut from career exploration to the placement side of the house.
You've seen it from all angles, which gives you a very unique perspective.
Yes.
So tell me, what is the status today? Whether it's someone who is just, you help people, whether they're just graduated or women reinventing themselves and re-entering the workforce. So what does the landscape look like out there right now?
Well, the job market is hot, hot, hot.
Yes, yeah.
Everyone
Low
knows
unemployment,
that.
yeah.
Right.
People are on the move. And, well, the sad part is that the wages are not going up. However, the job market is wide open. Mm-hmm. So I do work with recently graduated college graduates, I should say, all the way up until the C-level suite.
Right.
And in addition to writing resumes, cover letters, and LinkedIn bios, I'm working with folks that, and I say it with love, that don't have a clue what to do next.
Yeah.
So there's the career counseling side of the house and the career marketing side of the house. So on the career counseling side, there's a 4-session package, and people go through the assessments, identifying strengths and weaknesses, as well as their personality, the skills they want to use, not just what are they good at, what do they want to use in the future, and against the job market, because you can be completely suited for something,
and there's no job.
There's
Right,
no jobs.
right.
There's no jobs.
It's no good getting a degree, is putting all this time in, and then finding out that
Right, and
that's
something
not where
ridiculous.
it's
Right.
happening.
How did you make the transition from, because you were 25 years in higher education,
Yes.
which means you're working with kids, or, older adult kids, not children, but college kids. How did you make the jump or make it grow from working with kids to you're working with now, you said C-level, so like you're working with actual grown-ups. How did you grow that to that point?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Actually, when I served as an adjunct faculty member at Immaculata, I worked 17 years with major corporations because the corporations were investing in their employees. So they were adults.
Right,
so
right.
I'm all the
Yes,
contact. And they would ask me about writing a resume, and I say, well, when the grades are posted, then you can hire me. Because everyone in the room it's like lawyers. You're always getting tapped for, can you help me? What about LinkedIn? And so on and so forth. So that's how you get the contacts, and then word of mouth, of course. The referral business is huge.
Are you getting a lot of questions about, there's so much in SAT prep and everything. It seems like, so when my kids applied to college, there was people helping them write their essays and with their SAT. It seems like you're sort of like right next door to that. Are you getting a lot of questions about helping people with that also?
Well, sure, but that's not my wheelhouse.
Right.
But there are people that do that, absolutely. They'll prepare the essays for graduate school. They'll prepare the essays for college. I do write resumes for those programs.
Right, that's what you were
so
saying,
I
your
will
resume
do that,
writing,
yes, and also prepare the LinkedIn.
Right, well, that's where I was going to go with
Yes,
this.
that was what we were talking about.
LinkedIn is for us older gals, trying to say it
A very
nicely.
scary tool.
We know what LinkedIn is. We use it, but probably not as effectively as you. So tell us, that's where people are living. That's where recruiters are looking.
Yes.
So how important is it to have a killer bio presence on LinkedIn?
Yeah, it's a great question also. I will say that Fortune magazine, probably more than 15 years ago, wrote this: if you're not on LinkedIn, you will be left out. That was 15 years ago. There are some resume writers out there that think LinkedIn is more important than the resume. I say it's equally as important as the resume, and you need to be fully loaded. You need the digital presence. You need the LinkedIn optimized with the keywords and the competencies, because recruiters won't find you. And you can be totally qualified for a job and never get there because the resume's all wrong and the LinkedIn is all wrong. And I have boomers that are resistant, and I tell them, I don't need to do one more LinkedIn profile, but I'll tell you what, if you want to move out of this job, you better be represented well on LinkedIn. So it's very, very important.
You were also talking before the show about how important it is to have different resumes. I mean, I come from the era of you write your resume and that's it. You send it to everybody. But now you were saying, no, that's so wrong to think that way.
Ellen, if you're an accountant, you're okay. If you're a CFO, you're okay. But if you're a lawyer who wants to work in Washington as a lobbyist, apply for a private law firm, or work in higher education in the provost's office, you need 3 different resumes. So,
and are there people that have that diverse of a look at of a list of things that they would want to go to?
There are probably 25% of the folks that hire me for resume writing may in fact need multiple resumes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Because you have to be targeting it to who's looking at it, right?
Right, but so if you're a lawyer and you want to be a lobbyist in Washington, it seems like there's a whole list of things that you would be doing. Like those are such different things that you'd be applying. Like, are there people that apply to be a lawyer as a lobbyist in Washington and to be a college, work in-house for a college and work in-house there's 3 totally different types of law.
But it all has their skill set.
Right. But are there people that are applying for those same three jobs?
Well, there are. Sometimes people are not clear. They're not in one lane. So why should they limit their options?
Right.
Why not? Let me see if I can land in higher ed from law. Let me see if I can go to Washington. Right. So it's vitally important.
Is your oyster, right?
Yeah.
Why should you? Right.
Right. Why limit yourself? Sure. Why limit yourself? Right.
And to piggyback on that thought is that you need to change the keywords and customize every resume. So that's that takes a lot of effort to be able to do that.
Right.
So sometimes people circle back and have me do that, and they want me to hold their hand.
Can you share an anecdote of someone who was not succeeding and you helped them, and then what happened? Like by rewriting, by repackaging them in essence. It was still showing their skill set, but giving it a glossier finish to it. Did they then land something that was their dream job? Or
Oh, well, that happens every day in my business.
Does it?
I hate to say it, but yes.
That must be so satisfying, right?
I'm not perfect because there are some outliers out there that I'm concerned about, but we're going to get there because I do believe instilling hope and never giving up. I was thinking about a career transition of a particular guy who was making about $80,000 a year. He was in IT. He was working in King of Prussia. He was commuting from King of Prussia to Lancaster. And he had thought about being a nurse. And needed to go through career counseling. And eventually, after a couple weeks of thinking about the investment, he hired me.
Seems like you'd also have to go to school to do
that.
I was going to say,
Go ahead. Taking a left turn.
Left turn.
And some people don't want to invest in the education and credentials, which is critical in some cases. I hate my job. I want to do something else, but I don't want to spend $500. I don't want to spend 10 grand.
You're probably going to be stuck right where you are.
Yeah, that's true. And we do have to think about ROI. For example, if Laurel wanted to go back for a doctorate degree, at our age, is there a return on investment?
No.
I don't think so.
Why bother? Right.
Got someone who's 35 years old, and they're thinking about a nursing degree, and they wanted to do this, and they have a gift for caring.
Sure.
So
what did he do?
So what he did was, we go through the 4-session package. We're at session 3. He says, "What do you think?" I said, "What do you think?" He said, "It looks like I should go to nursing school." I said, "Exactly right."
Yeah.
And if you don't pull that trigger, you
never will.
You never will, and you might regret it.
Yeah.
He went on to nursing school. Now has a master's and had just ascended, advanced himself, and he's super, super happy. And he had to take a cut in pay from $80K down to $40K. But he had a partner, and so that worked out. And then the hospital was in Lancaster, so forget the commute to KOP, which was like an hour and a half every day, 3 hours round trip. It was like, forget it,
And now he's probably making
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I have a quick question for you, which
Yes.
is, because I know they're going to come and tell us we have to wrap this up
Yeah.
soon,
Oh, gosh.
which I think we could go on and on, because it's so interesting what you can do and how you can, change yourself, and with the
Yeah,
help of
reinvent
someone
yourself.
who knows
Yeah.
what to do.
Yeah.
Are there resources out there for women like us
Yes.
who may be re-entering the workforce, changing, redefining themselves? So I know that you are fairly conversant with some of this, so what are there resources out there for people like that?
So if you're watching this and you're wondering if there are resources, there are. And back in July 2019 on Glassdoor, there was an article that was posted about a nonprofit called Path Forward. Path Forward is a nonprofit organization that has partnered with more than 50 companies in the U.S.
Wow.
And they talk about having instead of an internship, a re-entry-ship. And this is basically programs created to help women go back to the workforce that have had children, even men that are going back into the workforce, as well as folks that were taking care of their elderly parents.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's a whole,
Huge.
yes.
So
yes,
if you have been out of the workforce for more than 2 years, there's other criteria. You could qualify for these programs.
Okay.
Are they paid? Are they paid
They
programs,
are paid programs. And in addition to that, there is probably more than 100 companies, global companies, J&J, GE,
Biggies.
big
Blue
company-
chip.
Yeah, the blue,
Yes.
but yeah.
blue
yes,
chip
yes.
companies,
That-
Goldman Sachs, you name it, that have these programs. So there's a ton of resources if you're sitting out there saying, oh, I don't know what to do with myself and I don't know how to get back into the workforce. Of course, if you don't know what you want to do, you need to go through counseling, and you can do that at the Delaware.
And you can contact
contact
Mindy
me.
Yes.
at thomascareerconsulting.com.
Yes.
And she can turn you on to some of these resources and help you sort of figure out how to present yourself so that you're attractive to recruiters no matter what your status.
Yes.
So there is hope for all of us.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Mindy, thank you for being with us.
Oh my gosh,
and
my
hopefully
pleasure.
people will get in touch.
Yes.
And we know that you can help them out, and stay with us, because we're going to be right back for another fun segment with Ellen and myself.
See you on the other side. Good job.
So, yeah.